Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen-X-istentialists. Welcome in, my friends, to another edition of the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we are here with you this week to just kind of rant and rave on all manner of different stuff from a Gen X perspective. Bunny, how you doing today?
I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Yeah, hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit, as one of my friends I used to work with used to say. Right. Should we go ahead and jump in and give Mega Wheel the Magnificent a spin?
Yeah, let's move on from that attractive image and see what Mega Wheel has to say.
It's just one of those things, hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. Mm-hmm. And how you feeling? Finer than frog hair split three ways with a straight razor.
Oh, well.
Which, of course, frogs don't have hair. So.
Yeah, not that you know of.
Okay, this is kind of silly, this first question. Should sports betting be legalized?
Sure, like everything else is.
It's already pretty much legalized. It's like the Wild West out there.
It's a shame about Pete Rose, I guess. But yeah, it was.
And with the Hit King having passed recently, it really kind of sticks under my saddle that he didn't get into the Hall of Fame while he was still alive, and that. Did he do wrong? Yes. Did he own up to it? Eventually, yes. Did he have faults? Many. Absolutely. Was he also one of the best baseball players to ever go out there and take the field? Yes. And if you don't think so, it's because you never saw him play and you didn't pay attention. That's just my take. That's my Pete Rose rant for this episode.
Gen X take.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. Oh, the sanctity of the game. Yeah, you watched while Barry Bonds and Jose Canseco and Sammy Sosa juiced themselves into oblivion, breaking records.
And Mark
McGwire, too. Yeah, just, the hypocrisy. Okay, so we have spun Mega Wheel and Magnificent again, and we are ready for question 2. Are you ready?
I am always ready.
Would you rather be able to drink or eat as much as you want without weight or health consequences? And then there's a question mark.
But would I rather
do
that?
Eat or drink?
Yeah, I'd love to be able to eat as much as I wanted and anything that I wanted, because I would be eating those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle manhole-sized covered pizzas for like every meal. That'd be great. If I had the metabolism where I could do this, that's what I would eat all the time.
Yeah.
Various styles of pizza.
And that's the trouble, folks. If you're listening to this and you're not Gen X, if you are younger than us, rest assured it's coming. The day when your metabolism that you think right now is a shining knight in armor.
Well, you don't even think about it. That's the problem. Yeah, it's just the way it is.
The day is coming where you will wake up and go, my pants don't fit. When did that happen?
I'm a fat bastard. What happened? That's your metabolism throwing up a white flag.
Yeah, pretty much.
It happens.
I remember it was when I had started as a parts clerk at a forklift company, and we had uniforms, and everything was great because I was up moving, pressing tires, doing all kinds of stuff. When I got promoted to inside parts sales, and most of my job was seated at a desk, that's when things changed. And suddenly, I had to go up a size in my pants. I'm like, what, how did this happen? Because it didn't feel like I was eating more, and I really wasn't. I just wasn't moving as much. And that was the start of it, so. All right, we will give Mega Wheel and Magnificent yet another spin. We're barely like 5 minutes in. We're already on question number 3. We need a big talker here. Come on, Mega Wheel. Landed on her side. Have we done favorite board games growing up?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. That is the question. What were your favorite board games growing up?
Favorite board games? I was an only child. So for some known reason, friends and family would constantly get me board games that
Same.
I couldn't play with anyone because I had no one to play these with. My parents weren't interested in playing board games. My parents were big card gamers back in the day, so we played a lot of Uno.
Yeah.
And I think we played a little Yahtzee, maybe a Boggle or two, stuff like that. But it was never, they loved Scrabble too.
Yeah.
That was the only board game we really played a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Scrabble. It's one of those things I can take it or leave it. When I was a kid, I was fascinated with the game of life.
Yeah.
Because I liked all the little moving parts and the pegs and the spinner and all that.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for anything that's got a Pop-O-Magic or Pop-O-Matic bubble. Like your Troubles and your, what were the other ones? Headache or something like that. I don't know.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
like
stuff where you're jumping little cones around. I had a fascination with stuff like that. I'll tell you, the games that they give only children to play that they think they're going to love, like Labyrinth, which is misery. It is it's wooden trays that you turn knobs and you try to get a steel marble down the whole way without falling in a hole.
Yeah.
There was Perfection, which is anxiety on steroids.
Yep.
Operation, a lot of the Jaws, the shark game where you had to stick a hook in its mouth and pull stuff out without it snapping on you.
Yeah.
Things like that you could play as a single kid. But yeah, I don't have a lot of super favorite board games from back in the day because I never really got to play a lot of board games. How about you?
Yeah. We had the standards. Like, I liked Monopoly, and I was an only child too. And for a long time, my dad would work nights, so it would just be me and my mom. And we would play Monopoly, like, from the time I was a little kid. Not a lot, but every once in a while we'd pull it out and play it. I also liked Life once we got it. I had 2 Star Wars games as a kid. One of them was based on escaping the Death Star. The little pieces were little Millennium Falcons in different colors that you had to go around and escape from there. The other one was based on Hoth and, escaping from the ice planet. And I loved playing those because I had those as a little kid when we still lived in Bellevue. My grandfather, who was a police officer, got them for me, and I would play with a couple of local kids there. But beyond that, playing board games was tough because we had them. I had those games, but I couldn't really play them alone. And when you get into the more physical games, like I had Mousetrap. I loved Mousetrap. There was the one game that you had, like the Egyptian motif, where you had to reach in and get stuff and not get clamped by the cobras.
that was something like the Tomb of the Serpent or something like that.
Yeah, I loved that. Like, I remember there was like a summer where every time I came over to your place, I'm like, I've got to play with this. And you were like,
there were lots of these like shock games that my parents used to like to get me. Like there was one called Beware the Spider. And it was basically a deconstructed version of Operation.
Okay.
It had little metal forks and these flat bugs that laid on a metal spider's web. No, it was a spider's web painted on a metal tray.
Yeah.
And it was energized. And the whole deal was you had to stick the fork underneath the bug without touching the surface and flip it out of the web, or else the spider that was up on a pedestal would shoot off and fly at your face. It was great. It was a foam spider. And I had a load of fun playing that. The dumbest things were, I swear, and this is my parents would get me these things, and I was like, what? They got me Battleship?
Yes.
And then they got me Hangman because I had Vincent Price on the cover of the box at the time.
Yeah.
And it was like, why are you getting me these obvious 2-player things?
Yeah.
Nobody plays games with me. Like they don't play these things.
We had Battleship. We had the electronic Battleship with the little screen would flash red if you got a hit and stuff. And I loved playing that. My dad and I played that, but not often. It was just every once in a while we would play a game, to the point where it got old and beat up and didn't work anymore. And I went out and bought a new one, like a modern version of it, that I have forced Tracy to play with me because it's a Star Wars version of Battleship.
Okay.
Which is still extremely fun, but it's it's like that game, nobody ever has as much fun with it as I do. So it's just one of those things. I'll con people into playing with me, and we'll play a game, and they'll be like, "Can we do something else?" Like, no, you're in now. We're going at least best out of 5. We just played 1. I know that means we've got at least 2 more to go. Are you ready? Let's go set up your ships. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah,
right.
It's really horrifying. I try not to be competitive, but like that game, Battleship, just it brings it out of me.
Interesting.
So it's just one of those things. So moving on, let's give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin here.
We are headed toward the holiday season right now. So
headed
this is
toward the holidays.
Oof. Yeah, that's that was kind of an appropriate question. Toys.
Yeah.
Board games.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So
how do you spell holidays? I spell it HOLIDAZE.
Oh, okay. I just spell it Christmas.
Okay, our next question here on the Gen-X-istentialists podcast is, who is your favorite contemporary artist? And I know how much you adore modern art, so.
Favorite contemporary artist is probably Charlie Harper.
Yes, I love Charlie Harper.
Charlie Harper is a local sensation, actually, is from the Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
He's best known. I mean, he did lots of artwork for like Harper's Bazaar magazine and a bunch of other publications back in the day, but he is best known for doing geometric style modern art of animals in their habitat. So
yeah,
probably one of my favorites. How about you?
I'm going to give you 3, one of whom I don't know their name. The first one would be Jim
okay.
Jim Dine.
Okay.
I love Jim Dine. Tanguy, who is a surrealist painter. I love surrealism, period. Actually, I got to give you 4 because Willem de Koning, too. I love his stuff. And whoever the modern artist is that like did the Duran Duran Rio cover.
Oh, Patrick Nagel.
Nagel. I love that style, that ultra modern, sleek, colorful, very precise lines, which is weird because what I love about surrealism is how everything just kind of blends. But I'm kind of an extremist, far over on this side, far over on that side. As long as we're not traveling down the middle of the road, I'm happy. So like art, I don't want to just see portraits. I don't want to see just, oh, it's real. I don't give a fuck about realism. Give me the ultra precise, odd stuff or just the surrealistic stuff. That's where I'm happy.
All right.
Cool. Moving on from favorite contemporary artists, we will give Mega Wheel the Magnificent. I think I'm using the right wheel, the right version of the wheel. I hope I am.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing,
that
folks.
Sounds like an existential question right there.
Yeah, really. There have been multiple iterations of Mega Wheel the Magnificent.
Am I on the right hamster wheel?
Am I in the right life?
Yeah.
This is not my beautiful house. Okay. What's invisible but you wish people could see?
What's invisible but I wish people could see is farts.
That would be great. That would be great.
Like, I want a big old muddy, nasty cloud. I want green creeping gas like you'd see in like a Scooby-Doo episode or something. I don't want to be taken from behind by a silent but deadly. Nobody baking cupcakes in here.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? Scoob, that's evidence.
Oh my gosh. It was an elephant under the couch or whatever, as dads always used to say. No, that would be pretty funny.
That would be awesome, yeah.
How about you? What's invisible that you would like people to see?
I don't know if I can even come up with anything close to rival farts. That's like genius right there. I'll stick to me being the stick in the mud and just go, I wish people could see logic. I don't know what that means.
How about temperature?
Temperature?
Like if when it was,
can.
To an extent, you can see heat forms off of the ground and stuff, but it'd be great if it was like as warm as it got, the redder or more burnt orange it got outside. The colder it was, the icier and white and blue.
That
everything
would be
turned outside like the light. So it's like, oh, I know what to wear now because I looked outside and it's like a dark shade of blue. I better put on a
that would work.
coat.
Yeah, temperature would be good too. Yeah, I don't know. I wish people could see guilt. Like if you were feeling guilty about something, you would just turn like orange, or I don't know. It would just it would be fun if we were like what do they call those rings? Like emotion rings?
Oh yeah, mood rings.
Mood rings. Yeah, if everybody had a mood ring and you could actually read them and they actually worked, that would be quite entertaining, I think. So we will give Mega Wheel another spin here on the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. And wherever you're listening to us or watching us, because we are on YouTube, we appreciate your time.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, leave us a comment. Holy cow. I love it when the questions come up and they fill my computer screen.
Nice.
Okay. Would you rather have all your clothes fit perfectly or have the most comfortable pillow, blankets, and sheets in existence?
I'd rather all of my clothes fit perfectly.
Why?
There's nothing that makes a person look better than a nicely tailored outfit. Doesn't matter if you're a big guy, small guy, tall, lanky gal. Doesn't matter. If you have the right clothes and they look good on you, changes your entire attitude and changes the way people react to you.
Yeah.
Now, the bed is always wonderful and nice, but I'm a little more conscious of things when I'm awake. So it's like, I want to be out looking good and feeling good.
My only qualm with that is like a bad pillow can really interrupt sleep. Like right now, I'm not happy with our bed. I'm not happy with my pillows. And I've tried a bunch, and it may just be me that isn't working. But I see the benefit of clothes because like literally, because I've been losing weight very slowly but surely. Nothing I have in my closet fits really well. As soon as I get dressed every day, I feel like, some things are too tight, some things are too loose. I feel like I look like an idiot, and there's nothing good about anything that's going on. So I would probably go with the perfectly fit clothes. That would be the way to go.
Yeah.
So we will give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin as soon as we get things set up. Come on, go. Okay. Final question of the day here on the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. And it is, come on, tell me about a time you shared something with someone. What kind of fucking question is that?
Long protein strands?
Preferably, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Shared something with someone.
Something.
Okay.
With someone.
We were talking, this is the holiday season that these are coming down. And we did an episode on Thanksgiving not too long ago. And I will tell you, we were driving to New England over the Thanksgiving holiday. This was some years back. Terrible weather. Driving across New York State and pulled off on one of these little travel plazas off the New York Thruway.
Okay.
It was Thanksgiving Day. And it was the most depressing Thanksgiving day. We were going because we were attending a funeral of my wife's grandfather in New England. And we pulled over, and it was like, well, this really sucks. And then there's a McDonald's in there, and they are serving Thanksgiving dinner for people who are on the road. Now, let me tell you, there aren't that many people on the road in this bad weather, and it's Thanksgiving. It's dark and miserable outside. Right. So we get Thanksgiving from McDonald's, which is the most depressing thing you've ever seen. It was like 2 slices of thick-cut lunch meat turkey with some little bit of gravy on it and some fries and stuff. It was the most depressing Thanksgiving meal I had. But we ended up hanging out with a bunch of truckers and other wayward souls that were on their way to other places, people you'd never meet again.
Yeah.
And we shared coffee with them, and we all sat around, and it was kind of this real sad Peanuts style Thanksgiving with a bunch of weird strangers. And that was the time we just kind of shared our wealth, hung out, shared our miseries, and it ended up salvaging that whole experience because you're sitting in a little throughway. These travel plazas, they go across the highway.
Like the oases up near Chicago and stuff.
Similar, yeah. They have like a bridge, like a skyway that goes across the highway, and everything's up on this bridge. Yeah. So we're sitting on this bridge, and it's dark, and the snow is blowing against the background, and it just looks miserable out. But here we are with Trucker McGee and Trucker Diana and Wayward Weirdo and all these sad people.
Why did you point at me when you said Wayward
Weirdo? And
I wasn't there.
You know, all the people that had to work on Thanksgiving, which is depressing to have to work at these places. And we're just hanging out and having a good time. So that is a sharing moment.
See, I'll give you something similar. It's not necessarily sharing something with someone, but it's along the lines of yours. You remember when I worked at Record Alley through high school and college, right? We were open on Thanksgiving, which was wonderful because at the time, you know, I would turn the TV on. There was always football on. And the folks that would come in were the hardcore people. They were always people that I always saw in the store. Nobody ended up at Record Alley just on a whim on Thanksgiving Day. They were all people that knew, hey, the store's going to be open. And for a couple years there, it's probably going to be Scott that's there. And we weren't open the full hours. It gave me a reason to be out of the house and away while Thanksgiving was being prepped and stuff. So I didn't have to do anything there. Like, I got to work. And everybody that came in was there to get away from their families for a while. So it was that shared, like, oh, I don't, it's family, but what do I have in common with anybody? Oh, it's music. Okay. I'm going to go to Record Alley.
That's the whole chosen family versus the hand you're dealt.
Yeah, kind of. And it's not like I didn't like Thanksgiving. As soon as I locked up the store and went home, it was great because, you know, everybody's there. But it was one of those things where during that time, you know, we always knew, hey, we're going to be open on that Thursday from 11 to 5. Mm-hmm. And come on by. We're going to have the football on the TV and hang out, listen to some music, watch some football, and talk.
Did you make any sales?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
Justify
never,
your staying there, sir.
Yeah, it was enough sales to make it make sense to do. And it was the same thing on Christmas Eve. We were always open on Christmas Eve, too. And again, that was, hey, I'm not here during the prep and stuff. I'll be here after we close.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was fantastic. So, that about does it for this episode. Any final thoughts, sir?
No, just enjoy this holiday season, and by all means, like, comment, subscribe, hit us up.
Comment, and subscribe.
And share it with your friends. Yeah, I know you got some other, cranky old Gen X friends out there, or maybe you've got some younger friends who'd like to understand why their parents are the way they are. So,
and God knows
this is a good way to find out.
That's where we come in, understanding your parents. Listen to the Gen-X-istentialists
listen to
podcast.
A couple of prior episodes. There's some real saucy material in there.
Until next time, this has been the Gen-X-istentialists podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
We'll catch you next time. Have a good one.